Hi there, this is Åsa with a new process video. Today I'm working with two photos from when we went to Östersund this summer, and it's one photo of my daughter and me, and then it's one photo of the window of the restaurant that we went to in the first evening when we got to Östersund. We had been driving the whole day, and first we went to our hotel just to see to realize that we couldn't check in, so we went directly to this museum, the outdoor museum, and then we checked into the hotel and we went for a meal. So it was a pretty busy day, and we just went to the center of the town and walked about for a while to see if we could find a nice restaurant to have dinner at, and we found several really, but we weren't really what shall I say, we didn't agree on what kind of food to eat, so eventually we stopped at this place, and we had the kids had pasta, and I think that me and hubby had some kind of steak and fries or something like that. It was really nice, and we had a great time there. It was like in the beginning of summer, and we hadn't been eating a lot outdoors before, and we sat outside the restaurant in their the chairs that they had and the tables that were outside, and it was just lovely. Very, very nice, and even though we had to put on a warmer sweater in while we were eating, it was just wonderful anyway. That special feeling to have an outdoor meal at a nice restaurant in a new town. It was perfect. Initially I had 4 photos for this layout, and the 2 that I later put in the bin were of my hubby and my son, and my hubby thought those 2 photos were so stupid, so he didn't want me to scrapbook them, so they went in the bin, and okay, you don't have to scrapbook all the silly photos that you have, so I'm okay with that. These 2 were kind of fun, and I think that this photo of my daughter and myself is really just fun. We are making silly gestures, and she looks really, preteen and everything. There are plenty of different kinds of restaurants, and this one was one of those where they keep it clean, and the style is like black and white and very, very clean in their design and the decorations they had and everything. So I wanted to draw inspiration from that and make this layout a black and white piece with this crispness and the contrast that I thought was nice with this style. And since one of the photos is of the window and the name of the restaurant, you get the kind of the feel of the whole place just by looking at that, and you can see the white and the black lines from the interior design through the window, and I thought that was a really nice piece to work with, like an inspiration piece for this page. So I went to my old paper stash, and I found this piece of written music paper, and on one side it's black on white, and on the other side it's white on black. So I decided to use both these sides, and predominantly the white with the black notes on it. So I'm just making a thin border with the more dark side of the paper. I'm going to work on a white surface, and I have already made a border on top and at the bottom, so more like a, it's not really a border around the hole, so just one at the top and one at the bottom. And I used thin black washi tape, really to make it crisp and keep the contrast as big as possible, and black and white. The white paper with the black music has some distressed effects in yellow, but it's so faint that it didn't matter, I think, on this page. I brought out a stamp set from Technique Tuesday, one of my favorite stamp brands, and they had all these circle sentiments, and I chose 3 of them just to get the modern feel and stay with the crispness and the clean vibe of this page. To get a bit of the restaurant feel, I wanted to add something that resembled like napkins or table cloths or something like that, so I just brought out a couple of doilies, and I'm placing them in 3 spots on the page so that I get 3 like clusters or areas where I keep my embellishments. So this will be kind of the foundation for this page and pretty much the main parts. I have also matted the 2 photos on a black piece of paper just to frame them, and since the pattern papers are a bit busy, I wanted it to have a strict border so that the photos won't get lost in the pattern. Now I decided to make a little journaling block there, and strangely I decided on the size of the paper before I had written the text, so that was bold, I think, and a bit stupid. But sometimes you do stupid things, but I managed to keep within this little frame, so I guess that's okay. So now just writing where this was and what we ate, and that it was a very nice meal, and that all the plates were totally emptied when we were done, and it was very good, and we were a bit surprised that the kids finished their meals, because they're notorious about not doing that, but this was perfect, and I just told that it was also a really nice event, sitting outdoors and enjoying a meal in a new town. And this apparently is a robot made of Lego, and it made an appearance in this scrapbooking video, and I often edit out those small visits, but this time it was such a short event, so it got to stay. We do a lot of Lego building around here, and sometimes I take photos of the things that we build, and I occasionally make scrapbooking layouts of those, because I really want to save them, because it's so much fun creating them and coming up with new designs. So it's a very creative kind of play thing to do with the kids, and I love that. I'm not the kind of person that like to role play and enjoy those kinds of social games with the kids. I much rather build and create and do those games or plays. So Lego is a favorite of mine, and my son is totally obsessed with Lego, so that's fun too. Now I brought out a couple of stamps, and they all have handwritten or kind of scribbled words about photographing, so she's, and a couple of more I chose. But on the doily, like the stamping, it turned out just horrible, so I had to get another doily and cover up the piece that I had done badly there. So I put a piece of scrap paper just on top of the black smudges that I had left, and then I replaced the doily with a new. So that went okay. And those scribbled words are also part of that Technique Tuesday stamp set. So I'm stamping here and there, and I think that it brings the photo block piece of the paper onto the white background paper in a very nice way. And I like to have this kind of smooth transition between the background and the main part of the page. I often do that, and I think it's very fun. While we were in Östersund, we visited a craft and arts shop. It was a very good shop. I wish it was in my hometown. And at that shop we did some just random purchases, and we bought paint. I bought a couple of markers, even though I'm on a spending freeze. I treated myself to those because I thought they were the kinds that I had been looking for. They weren't, so I actually ended up pretty disappointed. But while I were at the cash register, I saw these tiny stamps that they were almost like on, you know, those game the figures that you walk in the table in board games, and then they had a small rubber stamp on the bottom, and I bought one that has the Facebook thumbs up, the like symbol, and I thought that was really nice. So I wanted to add this on this page because I wanted this kind of the hip feeling, and the current and the crazy, like the Insta take a photo, make a pose, strike a pose feel. It's so 2015. So the like symbol was perfect on this page, I think. Now I'm just putting some finishing touches here. I'm adding a couple of shipboard stickers from a Pink Paisley set. I think it's the Switchboard collection that still has lots of shipboard stickers from. And I'm also adding a couple of homemade enamel dots. Those I made from perler beads. And I have finally realized how to adhere those to my layouts. Earlier I used the quick dry adhesive, or the Scotch strong and precise adhesive, and they kept falling off. As soon as I put them in my album and I started flipping the pages, they gathered at the bottom of the page protector, and that was really annoying. So when I started using the glue dots, those are the mini glue dots, it worked so much better. So I'm sticking to those from now on. And this is the finished page. I really like those photo corners because they made the diagonal line look a lot more present on the page. So here are some close-ups. Thank you so much for watching. I hope that you enjoyed this process video and that I have inspired you to go a bit black and white in the near future. Take care. This is Åsa. Bye.